Told ya. Told ya. Who was the one telling you that soon you will no longer be able to escape the Matrix? Saying that you're running out of time. You need to get rich quickly. One day you won't be able to escape anymore. They're going to close the gate. And you're all sitting there going, yeah. Told ya. I have been warning you about digital ID, carbon credits. Remember when I was carbon boss? I've been warning you about this crap for years. I've been a conspiracy theorist for years. And the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth, unfortunately, is just a little amount of time. Once some time passes, they all come true. I've been warning you. I've been telling everybody. I say things, everyone goes, oh, you're crazy. How fucking stupid do you have to be to still be calling me crazy when every single thing I have ever said has come true? Sooner or later. Oh, you were right about that one. You just noticed it before everyone else. But I'm not sure about this one, buddy. The TV says otherwise. You're a dipshit. Your family hate you. Your wife cheats on you. And your kids wish you were dead. Because you don't believe in any, at this point, any of the conspiracy theories which repeatedly end up simply being a prediction of the future. We're going to talk about digital IDs. You already know why it's a bad idea, but I'm going to give you a new insight as to why they are launching these digital IDs. Lots of people on the internet are already telling you it's a bad idea. Everyone with a brain understands it's a very bad idea to give the government more power. Because what does the government do with power? The same thing a woman does with power. Imagine you love a chick with all your heart. And you're like, I can't live without you. I love you so much. And you make her the boss of the relationship. Are you going to be happy, or is she going to fucking ruin your life? She ain't going to do what you do for her. She's not going to give you a nice car, a nice life, and let you go out and enjoy yourself and have some freedom. No, she's going to fucking hammer you. Day in, day out, trying to control every single fucking thing you do. Abuse. Women and governments abuse power. They are abusive when they have control, which is why they can't have it. Which is why nobody wants to work for a female boss, which is why you do not want government to have more power. The point of these digital IDs is more power. We all know that. So now we're going to discuss, why do they want more power? And I'm going to present to you a conspiracy theory. Call me crazy. I predict a future, and I'm going to put my name on the line and tell you the future I predict to see if I'm right. Now remember, my entire brand is based around predicting the future. Predicted COVID, predicted Bitcoin, predicted everything. If you followed my predictions by now, you're very, very wealthy. You're very rich if you follow my predictions. I have a prediction for why they're launching the digital ID. But before that, let me prove to you that I've been warning you about this forever. This is 2023. If they want to get you, they're going to get you. So you're living under this system, the judicial system, fair justice for all. But as soon as you annoy anyone and they say your name to a prosecutor, you're going to jail. And now they're going to make a new justice system for your safety. Don't worry, we're going to take our freedom away for your safety. And we're going to involve digital IDs and face ID and all these things like we talked about. But you'll be fine as long as you do exactly as we say.
We're from the government and we're here to help.
And that's where the slavery comes. Yeah. As long as you do exactly as we say. Because if you're a bad employee, you'll pay the price.
It's crazy.
So the primary objective of the digital ID is not to make it easier to put people in jail. This is the PSYOP they're going to sell you. They're going to say, with a digital ID, we know who's who. And we know exactly what they're doing. And we know exactly where they're going. And we know how they spend their money. And we know where they fly. And we know what they eat. And we know what porn they jerk off to. So because of this, because we have all this information about everybody, it's easier to find the bad guys and put them in jail. But that can't be their true intention, considering they already know who the bad guys are right now, by and large, and they don't put them in jail. They just put the good people in jail. So why are they trying to push the digital ID? And before I tell you what that is, you need to understand there's a break in your thinking. So we're going to realign your thinking when it comes to society quickly. What you believe is as follows. You believe, there's a bit of glare on my board, but hopefully you can see it. You believe we have society here, which is a circle. And anybody who doesn't play nice in society gets excluded and moved to jail, which is its own separate, hyper-masculinized, hyper-controlled society. Let's not say masculinized, because I don't want to be accused of being a misogynist. I would hate for all those bitches to get upset. So let's be fair. It's a highly controlled society. The basic premise is that we have society, and if you can't behave yourself, then we're going to put you in a society, a different one, jail, with a lot more rules, highly regulated, to force you to behave. So if you don't behave in society, you are moved to jail. But jail is just society with more rules. That's all it is. They take away some freedoms, but it's still a society, right? You still meet with other people. You still talk to other people. You still have to get along with others. You still have to interact with people. But there's more rules. What are the rules? Well, if you're in jail, they control where you go. They control when things happen. They control how things happen. They control why things happen. They control where you go. You have to be in your cell at this time, you're in a gym another time. When you can go to certain places. How you can get there. You can't drive around in jail. You can't drive a Ferrari. You have to walk. Why? Because if you have a Ferrari, you might escape. Right? They control this society more heavily because you can't behave in traditional normal society. This is how you believe things work. But truthfully, I have a different model. And the different model, for you to understand as to why they're pushing digital IDs, is they want to make all of society a jail. Digital ID is all encompassing. They want to just say, this arrow here, this moving of people from society to jail is a problem. Because this arrow has some distinct features. One, media controversy. Media. It's controversial to put people in jail. Like they tried to do to me. Like they did to Lucy Connolly. If you do something that the government doesn't like, but the people like you for, like me telling the truth, it's very controversial to try and put someone in jail. It's also very expensive. How much does the British judicial system cost to run? To permanently have these courts, these bailiffs, these police officers, these judges, these lawyers, these investigators, these police force, the detectives, the CPS. How long? It's very expensive to do this. And it's also time consuming. It takes many years to build a case and try and put somebody in jail for a substantial crime. If someone goes out there and steals a loaf of bread, it's open and shut. But if somebody has an opinion online that they don't like and they're particularly clever and smart with how they talk, it actually takes years to get it done. And there's many appeals and it's all on the news, costs lots of money. So it's also very time consuming. So the arrow is time consuming. It creates a lot of media and it's expensive. So how do you get rid of the arrow? Let's think here, logically. I'm in charge of England. I have a society, and I've made new rules for my society that nobody wants to play by. Nobody wants my new society I've made. Nobody likes the migrants. Nobody likes the government. Nobody likes the taxes. Nobody likes the ULEZ. Nobody wants their money sent to Ukraine. Nobody wants any of the things I'm doing. Nobody. So my answer to that is, well, whoever becomes a problem, we just put them in jail. But the arrow now is becoming overloaded because too many people don't like what I'm doing. And it's taking a whole bunch of time. The media are attacking me and it's becoming too expensive to move people from this society I built they don't like to the new society. And in this new society, the only reason they behave is because we control where, when, how, and why. So what's the answer to this? The answer is we put everyone in jail. The answer is let's get rid of that arrow and let's just put everyone in a digital jail. Done. Now we ain't got to move people from society to jail. We don't need the arrow anymore. All this is saved. Everyone's in jail, so we can control the where, when, how, and why. The digital ID allows us to control where people go, when they can go there, how they get there, and why. So if they say things we don't like, we can stop them from using public transport. If they say things we don't like, we can stop them from flying. If they eat too much meat, which is bad for the environment, we can stop them from buying it. We can stop them from going to the doctors. I thought the NHS was free for everybody. Only if you have a digital ID. The NHS is free if you have a digital ID. You can't go hospital now. So they're going to put us all into one big jail, control everything, and say, look, we fixed crime. Well, that's because we're all in jail. That's because we've removed free will. Now, those of you who are watching this show, who are smarter than the rest, will ask yourselves now a very important question. In fact, let me test you here. I don't have my laptop. Let me get my laptop. And I'm going to test you guys. Right, so here's the test. I just said they're going to put us all in jail and remove our free will. As a professional, what is the follow-on question from that? If you think like Andrew Tate, the follow-on question is, well, why did they ever want us free in the first place? Okay, they're going to remove everyone's free will. Why did we ever have free will? What was the point of having free will? What was the advantage of our society being based on the premise of free will? Why was Western society built this way? What are the advantages for a government, for ruling elites, to give people free will? Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about why that is. Free will has many advantages to a society in the correct cycle. We're now towards the end of the cycle of Western democracy as we know it. So towards the end of cycles, everything becomes authoritarian. Now we all have to go to jail. I've already been to jail. You're going to jail. You have an opinion, you're going to jail. Everyone's going to jail. And if you don't go to jail, you're going to be in a digital buttfuck semi-jail. Everyone's going to jail because they're locking it down. But before that, what built the prosperity of these Western democracies? Well, primarily it was innovation, free thinking, the ability to trade, the ability to run businesses, the ability to make money, the ability to get wealthy, patriotism, culture, love for the people around you, believing that if you dedicate yourself, you can make your town better and your family will grow up in that town, buying a house and keeping it in the family name. Everything I've just named is gone. You can't start a business in England because they tax you to fuck. You can't have a house in your family name because of inheritance tax. You can't respect the culture of your country because they're replacing everybody with third worlders. They're replacing everybody with third worlders because third worlders don't care about government corruption. And if you're a corrupt government, you don't want your population to care about government corruption. White people care about government corruption. If you fucking bring a bunch of Bangladeshis in, they don't give a shit if you steal because they don't know any better. So if your intention is to steal, your intention is to get rid of the people who know you're stealing. Everything I just told you about how a free society benefited the West no longer exists. So what's the advantages now of leaving people free at this stage in the capitalistic cycle? Freedom served its purpose. The purpose of freedom was to build the society. Now it's built. Now it's mass extraction on the way out, on the way down. Now it's just raiding all the different bedrooms aboard the Titanic before it sinks. There's no time for freedom anymore. All that's long gone. Load this up. So the government has no care whatsoever, no interest whatsoever with allowing you to be free or think freely or speak freely anymore. All the advantages it came with are long gone. Now it's only problems, it's only trouble. And the intention is to put everybody in jail. If your digital ID prevents you from getting public transport, and it prevents your electric car from starting or charging, and it prevents you from buying food, and it prevents you from going to a doctor's, and it prevents you from flying, you're in jail. It costs them $0 to turn off your digital ID. They press one button, beep, he's in jail for a year. Your life's wrecked for a year. Easy peasy. Why? Because you complained about the Somalians raping your daughter. But that's not my conspiracy theory. Most of you would agree with this so far. Most of you would agree with what I've said so far. My actual conspiracy theory, we're moving on to. My conspiracy theory is that the reason they're pushing so hard for this is they intend within the next decade to stop people from leaving. Sounds radical, I know. How can you just stop people from leaving? Well, let's use the data points as to why I've come to this conclusion. Firstly, which country has the largest number of millionaires fleeing per year currently? Which country has the most people leaving? England. Which country just said we need digital ID? England. So they've already tried an exit tax. They've said, if you leave England, we're going to take half your money. People are like, I don't give a shit. Take it. I'm out. They've already tried wealth taxes, these other incentives to scare people away from leaving because they thought they'd lose so much money. But nobody wants to get stabbed to death. And nobody wants to live in a shithole, no matter how rich they are. So they don't mind losing their money to just leave. So now, how do you stop rich people from leaving? Because that's a big problem, by the way. When all of your wealth is fleeing, let's imagine England is your trouser pocket. If you have a hole in your pocket, you're going to be pretty fucking broke pretty fucking quick. And they know what's going on, and they know the problem. So they're like, okay, so how do we stop people? Well, the problem we currently have is that this arrow, the media, the time, the expensive, is expensive. Rich people in England are flying to Thailand, or Dubai primarily, staying there, then saying they leave when they've already left, then selling all their stuff and taking all their money. Then we have to take them to court and accuse them of not paying their exit tax to try and get the money off them. We haven't even scared them into staying because they've already left. And now we're millions of pounds later and years later trying to recover money from some guy who's hidden it all. What we need to do is stop them leaving in the first place unless they paid us. So how do we do that? What if we had a digital ID so that when you say, I want to fly, I want to leave the UK, we make sure all your taxes are in order first. We want to make sure all your things are in order, you know, before you leave, for security and for safety and to make sure everything's okay. We would hate for the IRS, HMRC, to send you a letter while you're away and you miss the letter. That would be devastating. So we just need to make sure that you pay us millions before you fly. Digital ID, so we can control exactly where you're going, what you're doing. We can link it to your tax records and we can make sure of everything. On top of that, maybe you're flying a bit too much. You know, carbon credits. Don't you understand carbon, boss? Remember? Because climate change and global warming. I mean, we have no problem giving Ukraine missiles to blow the fuck out of things. We can blow up the entire planet, but you can't fly on a plane because of the atmosphere, even though we blow up things in Ukraine all day with your money. So you've already flown twice this year. Maybe you'll get ideas about leaving. You know what? We should just stop you from leaving for your safety and for the environment, for the trees, for the penguins. Now, there'll be some female protesting going, yeah, save the penguins. This is a good idea. Because women actually beg for control and authority. That's why you can't trust them with votes. But their primary objective, not initially, not at the very beginning, but their primary objective with the digital ID is to stop you from leaving because they know you don't want to be there anymore. They know that everybody who gets rich in England leaves. Everybody who gets rich in England takes their money and leaves. There are some people in England who are rich who haven't left because they're old. They're 50, 60, 70, and they grew up in England and they're patriotic. The average 21-year-old in England has no patriotism in his blood, not a drop. He grew up in a country where he saw his friends stabbed to death, where he realized the media lied to him every day, where he lost 4 years of his life to an imaginary disease, where the police are wankers, where he has been lied to every time he went to school. He doesn't like the UK. He doesn't like it at all. He hates it. He wants to leave. He wants to go Saint-Tropez. He wants to go Thailand, to go backpacking. He wants to go Dubai. He wants to go Miami, but he doesn't want to be in England. At all. Doesn't care. When he gets rich, he's out the door. And old people die, and young people are the future. So they have a plan to stop the young people from leaving. And that's what the digital ID is about. Call me a conspiracy theorist. Call me crazy, like you called me crazy when I said this was coming. In 10 to 15 years, you're going to see some bullshit on the BBC about how there's been too many flights in and out of England, or there's been some other environmental reason, or some terrorist attack, or some stupid reason why they have to halt flights for most people. And for you to be able to fly, you need to just apply for an extra process. We're not stopping you from flying. We're not crazy authoritarians. We're going to let you fly. You just need to apply for one extra process first. Just upload your digital ID quickly so we can check that it's okay that you fly. And if you have too much money, or you haven't paid enough tax, or if they have a sneaky suspicion, if that digital ID on your phone has been tracking you look at houses in another country to buy, denied! Denied! Stay on the sinking ship. Stay aboard the Titanic. Hope you like cold plunges, faggot, because we're going straight down. The chance of England saving itself is somewhere around 0. So their plan is to trap everyone there so they all die in abject poverty and misery while they extract as much money as possible from the few poor souls stuck aboard this sinking ship. What other plan do they have? If I'm wrong, impossible. If I'm wrong, what's their plan? To just let everybody go to Dubai and get rich? And just leave all the brokies in one country and they just go bankrupt and broke? No, they have to do something. Their plan is to close the door. That's what digital ID is about. I have been telling you, your only chance of salvation, I have been screaming at you for years, is to get rich. Because right now, in the current position, if you're in the UK, there are 2 types of people in the UK right now. There are rich people and poor people. If you're rich, you can leave. If you're poor, you can't. If you have a job and a mortgage, you are stuck. And when you go to pay your mortgage and they won't accept the payment without your digital ID number, you now have to get it because they're saying we're not going to force you to get the digital ID. It's mandatory, but we're not going to force you, but it's mandatory. You know, we're not going to force you. You just can't pay your council tax, pay a bill, pay your mortgage, eat food, go to the doctors, fly on a plane, drive on a road. You just can't do anything without it. But we're not forcing you, but you can't do anything without it. You can't breathe without it for your safety. Anyone with a brain and money will leave the UK right now. The people who are stuck can't leave. I have been telling you for the longest period of human time that you are running out of time. I said that your bloodline will look back on this period of history when it was possible to escape the Matrix and wonder why their ancestors didn't escape the Matrix in time. Why are we poor? Why do I have a digital ID stamped on my forehead with a robo-dildo up my ass? Why? Oh, it's because my granddad didn't try and get rich in time. And we got stuck with the digital ID, stuck in fucking Scunthorpe like a dipshit. I've been warning you. I'm rich. Try this shit. I'm out. Do they have digital IDs in Mauritius? Madagascar? Nigger? I'll find somewhere to go where they barely have fucking working driver's licenses. I'm out. Because I'm loaded. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's extremely important you get rich now. This is proof. Everything I've been saying to you for the longest time is true. And even doubly bad for you, the real world is full. Even worse, the way I said the easiest way for you to get rich and escape is now full. Go to jointherealworld.com. We're full. We have too many students. It's full. So now what are you going to do? You're going to work a job and save up? Guess what you need to work a job? A digital fucking ID, you fucking prick. I told you. I am tired of being fucking right. My whole life I am right. All I am is right all the fucking time. And by the way, this shit's coming to everywhere. It's coming to all of Europe. Digital ID, all this crap's coming to everyone. And that's why it's important we talk about one last thing. The systems of Earth are not fully interconnected. And because of that, there's a massive advantage to being an expat in certain countries. So let me give an example. What is the name of Thailand's tax authority? I don't have a fucking clue. Do Thais have to pay taxes? Yes. But if you're an expat, if you're from Peru and you live in Thailand, do you pay taxes? Probably not. Why? Because you're not from there and their system isn't linked with the Peruvians and they can't find out if you really live there or if you're just long-term visiting and you come and go and they can't really track you down. That's what's going to be like with the digital ID. As they announce and launch all this dumb shit, if you're in a country that you're not really from, you could just be like, I ain't got one of those. Where's your digital ID? I ain't got one. Why? Because I'm not from here. Well, where are you from? I'm from Mauritius. How do you have a Mauritian passport? Because I bought a house and did the residency program because I was rich and bought an $800,000 house to get a Mauritian passport. Decaught. Oh, really? Yeah. And we don't have those in our country because we're a shitty little island. Anyway, out the way. Piss off, Officer fucking knobhead. I ain't got a digital ID. Suck it. Suck my massive balls. Problem solved. Because all the world's governments aren't that connected. So you need to have, isn't it prophetic? Isn't it amazing how like a prophecy? What did I say 10 years ago? Anyone watch my original YouTube channel before I was banned? My YouTube before I was banned 10 years ago. You need multiple passports, multiple residencies, multiple bank accounts, multiple identities, multiple nationalities. The only way you can be off grid is to be on as many grids as possible. I said this to you 10 years ago. How many passports have you been getting in the last few years? I get a new passport every fucking year. It's very easy to do. Look it up. Pay some money, get a passport. Invest in a country, buy some land, do some paperwork, get a passport. How many you got? None. Why? Because you're broke. You're fucking poor. And now you're going to get a digital ID and robo-dildo up your ass. I told you. I warned you. I fucking warned you, people. You need to get rich. You need to get multiple identities and passports and nationalities. And you need to do the Aikido that is necessary to never end up with a digital ID on your fucking phone. And if you want to live in England, don't live in England as a Brit, because then you get wrecked by the tax authority, by the police, by the digital ID, by Keir Starmer, by everyone wrecks you. If you want to live in England as a Turk. I'm Turkish. Of course I don't have a digital ID. I run a barber shop, nigger. Oopsie fucking doopsie. the only way. And one day they'll interconnect all the systems, but by then the world will be bipolar. Because we have China and Russia and India teaming up against the Western democracies. We'll be in a bipolar world, so you can just then play off the two systems. Then you can just be Chinese. China's got a system. China's got a social credit score, but you don't have a social credit score if you go to China because you're not Chinese. Do you understand? You could be in the country with a social credit score without having a social credit score as long as you have a foreign Western passport. And you can now be in a Western country without your social credit score. If you have a Chinese passport, so you have to go to China and get a bunch of Chinese women and have a whole bunch of fucking babies, have noodle sex, give some chop suey and chow mein to Ching Chong and Ling Long and get some fucking Chinese kids before it's too fucking late. I've been telling you people what to do for a very long time, but how are you gonna get Chinese pussy if you ain't got any fucking money? Have you not seen those karaoke bars? Have you not seen the little Chinese men in their suits with the little fucking hot Chinese chicks sitting around drinking $10,000 whiskey singing karaoke? You gotta be able to afford the whiskey. You gotta go to the karaoke bar. You need money. Hello? You're poor. You need money now. Before the digital ID comes. Ling Lang and Sing Song will suck your wing wong if you could just get some fucking money. I don't know what else to say. My brother and I will be having a ding-dong party in Chinatown. I don't know about you. Egg fried rice on a bitch. The only answer to this bullshit is getting rich. It allows you to get multiple residencies, multiple nationalities, allows you to take advantage of the multipolar world. It allows you to hide your money so the government can't steal it like they're going to do with the digital ID. It allows you to be in lots of different places. It allows you to have the best lawyers. It buys you time. It allows you geographical freedom. It allows you to think ahead and notice the playing board. The people who are stuck in England with a mortgage and a job, even if their job pays 300 grand a year, even if they consider themselves wealthy, are so fucked. They can't leave their job. They have to pay their mortgage. They are stuck and they are fucked. Get out now. And the easiest way to do that, the real world, is full. Join therealworld.com. We are full because you didn't listen when you had a chance. I'll be having Chinese sex in Korea.
10 years ago, a degree was a golden ticket. Today, graduate unemployment is at a record high. Even Oxford and Cambridge students are walking out with $50,000 in debt and no job that matches their degree. In the US, graduates are now more likely to be unemployed than the general public. Employers aren't even hiding it anymore. They don't need you. The world doesn't reward credentials anymore. It rewards skills that make money now. Inside university.com, we don't waste your time with theory. We teach the exact skills businesses pay for today, not 10 years ago. Artificial intelligence, copywriting, e-commerce, content creation plus AI, all taught by verified millionaires, earning in real time. No fluff, just step-by-step systems that take you from $0 to $10,000 a month as fast as you can work.
Oh, last month I did about 12 grand.
10K a month, 50 grand, 100K.
4 years in college leaves most people broke and lost. 30 days with us gets you on the path to $10,000 a month. Join university.com today and start making money now.
Got some super chats here I'm going to read out. First one. Patrick, the real world's not only about money. I got noticed for my work and was promoted to Alex Stanku's fitness team. I now help the students in the fitness campus, and I run the Health and Fitness Campus X account. Congratulations, sir. I know exactly which Twitter account you have. I think I retweet you quite a few times. So if you have your affiliate link on there, you should be making some money. Another guy, $200. Just want to give some money back knowing this is going to charity. Thanks for everything. You're welcome, sir. This is going to tapepledge.com. And I'm assuming you're a student of the real world. I'm going to look you up here. AR Giris Mania. If you've got the same name in the real world, I'm going to find you. Super chat's only over $50 only, guys. Or I'm not going to read them. So, what is your plan now? Tell me, what's your plan? Digital ID is coming, Andrew Tate was right, and you're broke. You had years to get ahead of the game because you were warned, but you didn't take it seriously because you know what you were doing? Let me show you what you were doing. You watched my emergency meeting where I said, they're going to come with digital ID and you're going to get stuck forever poor and your bloodline's going to hate you. Your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren are going to look back on you as the biggest failure of the entire generation, of the entire ancestry. And you watched my emergency meeting and then you thought, wow, okay, cool. And you were motivated for like 4 minutes. And then after the 4 minutes ended, you went on Instagram and you started messaging girls. And those girls ignored you. Then you jerked off. Then you went to sleep. Here you are, 2 years later, broke, about to be enslaved with digital ID, like I said. Congratulations, you're a fucking retard. Congratulations. Congratulations, you're retarded. So what is your plan now? Now that we've come down to the wire, now that you're out of time, now that even Keir Starmer himself has told you I was right, in case you doubted me. Guys, in case you doubt me on any level, listen to the fucking man who's about to enslave you all. There you go, listen.
And at its heart, its most poisonous belief, and this was on full display here in London just under 2 weeks ago, that there's a coming struggle, a defining struggle, a violent struggle for the nation, for all of our nations. And you don't have to be a great historian to know where that kind of poison ends up. And at its heart, its most poisonous belief.
A violent struggle is coming. So get my digital ID. We're about to be in a very violent struggle for the soul of the nation. So get a digital ID so I know exactly where you are. I promise I won't put you in jail or kill you. I promise. So what's your plan now? I want to hear your plan, gentlemen. What's your plan? What are you going to do? Considering you ignored all the warnings and the real world's full. In 30 years from now, I'll be on my yacht or Mars. Or maybe we've solved gravity by then. I'll have some blimp with all my females. I'll be up there like a sultan. And I'll be yelling down to you, I warned you. Oh, you're in a digital prison. You're in a 15-minute city. You can't leave your area because of climate change and your digital ID doesn't scan at the barriers that prevent the cars from moving. That's a shame. I'm floating through the sky because we've solved gravity and I'm mega wealthy. Sorry about that. I'll get a megaphone. Sorry. You're broke. You're fucking poor. I warned you. It is my duty to warn you. It is not my duty to do anything else. You have been told. If you ignore my warnings, then you deserve the future which you are headed for. If you do not change the direction in which you are going, you're going to end up exactly where you're headed. Ass fucked. Carbon credits, robo-dildo, digital ID, techno-communism, pooper-scooper, starship trooper bullshit. And you know the worst thing about it is the solution to all of this is money. Because what they're going to do is they're going to come along with carbon credits. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to come along and say, listen, everyone at home, we've discovered the sun is hot. So for that reason, we need to increase your taxes to save the world. If you work harder and give us more of your money, we can stop the sun from being hot. Ask the little girl with the weird face, Greta. That's what we're going to do. So you have to buy carbon credits. You're not allowed to use carbon anymore. Carbon's bad. So that means you're not allowed to drive your car, you're not allowed to fly anywhere, and you're not allowed to eat meat. But if you plant trees, which probably won't even happen, they'll make up something, because planting trees are a real thing. They'll make up something. If you put hydrogen into the Large Hadron Collider, then you can have more carbon credits, because you're offsetting the sun being hot. You're putting snow in the sun. So that costs money to do. So you're allowed 100 carbon credits a year unless you buy more. If you buy snow to fire at the sun from the cannon, then you're allowed to eat more meat and fly more places, meaning the rich people can do whatever they want and the poor people will be restricted to stay inside of their extermination camps. Now, I know this sounds crazy and I've just made it up. If only I could find a video of them literally admitting this, then maybe I wouldn't be a conspiracy theorist anymore.
it's too late.